Welcome to today's video where we're going to be going over Virtus.pro's above pop presence, which you can see right here is a Molotov landing above the ladder as well as some aggression from the B side of the map. This has been kind of key for me because I feel like it changes the way you can play the B-bomb site as well as allowing your team to have a lot more space on the map. Right, so you've seen the little fly-throughs. I'm actually going to show you now how it goes from a free cam perspective at least. So the player POVs are after this as well, so if you're looking for those, skip forward a bit. But the main thing is why this is such a good play to make, right? So it's the first time I've seen the Molotov be used right like that at the start of the round, and the way they use it is actually really, really cool. So obviously there's a decoy thrown up there by qikert, he flashes, he gets forward, and we're going to pause it right here. Actually, we'll put it in slow-mo, and then we'll do this. So Molotov is there, it's already delayed 3 players here, and then a single smoke will actually cause so much disarray, right? So it's clear from the get-go Gambit were planning some sort of B approach anyway. Like, we'll pause it and we'll just look and you can see, yeah, clearly this is actually more of a B setup anyway. But the way that, so YEKINDAR is the man who throws the Molotov through the window, Sanji's already in pop, so it's fine, and then qikert managed to put this smoke above ladder and it's a bit of a disrupting tool. But the main thing, right, is that we've got Jame posted on upper, he's not revealed himself yet, he's holding an off angle, and the AWPer who peeked upper did not see him at all. So, as the round goes by, there's Molotov used in ladder, which fine, Sanji can just smoke on that, it's great. And then, towards B, they will actually start to try and regain control. And because they know it's an AWPer, you're probably thinking, well, if an AWPer kills you at B, like after about 40 seconds into the round, chances are the player is on his own. Right, so you can see right now he gets the first kill. They even jiggle peek it really nicely as well. It's a bit of a shame. They jiggle peek, they get killed, they charge down lower, but Jame Molotovs and he re-peeks. So even though a player gets past, he's actually already done his job. He's got 2 kills, and unfortunately for him, he actually gets blindsided a bit here by inters. So despite all this, Gambit still get a plant from this 2v5 into a 2v4, and I believe it gets even dicier as well. But the main thing is just how they were able to use like their grenades in such a way where map control was kind of given to them in the way that they played it, right? And I feel like this is something cool to have like as a pocket pick. Like VP seems to have a lot of these pocket strats on the CT side of things where just the pairing of 2 people doing grenades can impact the map in such a great way. So enough of my mumbo jumbo, here's the player POVs. Okay, so we'll start with qikert. So he's the player that actually goes up the lower ramp and throws in the smoke, which causes such a disarray. But we're going to only watch him until just after he's done the smoke, because there's not too much point otherwise. So that flash is great, it beats any player who is already jumping over the rail. It's a good off-guard flash as well. And the smoke is pretty straightforward, and it's key that he walks away here, because if there's T's close to the smoke, they'll hear him run away, and obviously I've shown you many times in the previous videos where just running away, even when you think, like, off chance they're not there, can still have an impact in the round. Next up is YEKINDAR, so he throws the Molotov, right? So this lineup's going to be a bit tricky for some. So you run into the train and then you line up on the vent, right? So you see his crosshair. If we go back ever so slightly, you'll see that his crosshair was where the top of mine is right now. I will slow it down so you can see. And he jump throws and lets go as it goes to the left hand side. And it's, that is his only contribution really into this actual take. It's just the Molotov, but you could argue it's the most important part. So you need to make sure you practice that one and master it if you're going to do this, because I really think it throws an absolute like wrench in the works for any T-side team that are running a default, or if they're planning a B execute early on. Like, it really destroys anything they try and build. And of course the final player shown is Jame. So he already had a B upper spawn, which is kind of key, because just in case, right, because some players can jump down over the rail before your peek comes through if you don't have the spawn. So this is why he actually peeks across there, and then he just holds this for basically, what, 25 seconds I think it is? Something ridiculous. Really, like, patient play. But he is rewarded, right? I'm going to keep this one going into his actual death. Because it's kind of key to show how he played it, really. Like, there's a few different ways where he could have done something slightly different. But the way he plays this next, like, 20 seconds or so is actually really good. So again, patience is key. You hold the angle, you wait for a peek, you get the kill, you immediately run across Molotov lever. Like, that is huge. The second kill is fantastic as well. I feel like he's kind of unlucky in this, because the player actually just full sprinted it and he didn't expect it. But you could probably stay upper in that scenario, right? There's 3 people dead. They've Molotov that side as well. He might not have known that. But you could probably stay upper and be just a nuisance, really, right? Like, you know, the round is pretty much won in a 2v5. But if he stays upper and delays even longer, his teammates can arrive and maybe make this, yeah, not as costly, because it does go down to 2v2. Well, I think it was, yeah, it is 2v2 / 3v2. So it still becomes somehow close, which is a bit rough. But hey ho, that's it from this one. I think this is going to be a huge way for some people to take control of the B holes, especially if you're struggling with holding B as a bomb site as well.